What's up, guys? Kane over here at Backbodymystery. Today we're going to be getting into the WWE debut on Netflix. We're going to talk about wrestling, Royal Rumble, and we're also going to talk about our excitement getting ready to go to the Royal Rumble in Indianapolis. My partner in crime, Diamond, is out. He is preparing to compete in Frosty Fausting, which is a fighting game tournament that's going to take place here in the States. But before I get started, slap, like, and share, subscribe. That's the best way to support the channel. Today I got my special guests here, Jay from Jujeezy and Kevin from Sound Deli. So hopefully we're going to have some good conversation today. So let's get started. What I want to kind of go into is a scenario that I kind of came across speaking to some wrestling fans, and we were going back and forth about what makes you a wrestling fan, if you haven't seen this or haven't seen that. So I thought that was some good stuff to start with today. So I'm going to ask y'all some questions. We're going to kind of go right through it. I'm going to name some matches, and I'm going to ask you, if you haven't seen these matches, does it make you a wrestling fan or not? Because wrestling fans are at all ages, but there are some matches you need to see, and there are some matches that you probably should have seen, right? So let's go right into it. So are you a wrestling fan if you never seen Stone Cold or The Rock wrestle or interact or cut a promo with each other? Are you a fan?
Man, you might not be a fan, bro. That was some good times.
Okay.
Yeah, you talking about the attitude era, man. So if you didn't see none of them matches, yeah, I'm not gonna say that disqualifies you completely, but you on the cusp.
You on the cusp. That was some of the best work in WWE. Like if you miss that, you need to go to the backlog. You have to definitely look it up. You have to go back and look at those promos and those matches. And then don't forget one of the best matches, the Stone Cold versus Bret Hart I Quit match. That was groundbreaking.
Groundbreaking match.
So I guess it goes off eras and age too. You got a lot of generations now who don't know who none of the wrestlers are. They just see them.
Well, hold on. I can't say that. You still got people that cheer when Stone Cold come out. Kid, you still got people that cheer when the Boogeyman comes out.
Definitely the Boogeyman.
You still got people that cheer when Hulk Hogan come out. They know something.
I mean, they may know, but do they like us? And us in particular, do they like know? Like they may know because their parents may have told them.
Right.
Like, yeah, you know what I'm saying? But do they know? Like when we went home and watched Raw and watched Stone Cold drive the beer truck and spray everybody down, you know, with the beer and stuff, do they really know? Like they may know of him, or do they know him exactly?
Well,
you know
with the applications that's out now, I would think that just doing a conversation there, check, because you would be shocked how many younger people I come across that always talk about the Shawn Michaels and Razor Ramon. And it is amazing to me because I'm like, yo, aren't you like 19?
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Right. You right.
And that match, that's how big that match is. A lot of people went back via their streaming service and they watched that match. And I mean, it was a dope match.
It was. That definitely was.
The TLC match between the Hardy Boys, Dudley Boys, and Edge and Christian.
Okay, bro, you might not be a wrestling fan if you've never seen that match.
No, you're not a fan.
You're not a fan.
You're not a fan.
Okay. Are you a fan if you 30 years older and you never seen any Randy Savage or Ultimate Warrior promos?
Hell no.
We ain't even gonna answer that. You should know that one.
I already answered it.
All right. If you 30 and old, you never seen the iconic Hulk Hogan versus Andre, are you a wrestling fan? Never heard of it, never seen it.
Okay, that one is kind of hard because it was one of the moments in wrestling history. But just to play devil's advocate or spoiler, Andre the Giant was slammed before that.
Oh yeah, of course, absolutely. But you know, it's great marketing, great promo.
Great marketing, great promo, yeah.
And the way TV shows were promoted then, it wasn't. You had to be there to see that.
Oh yeah,
you had to be there. It wasn't something that was recorded. I don't think it was even pay-per-view back then. I think you literally had to be there to see that
event.
To see that happen. So
yeah, because they recorded it.
Yeah, I'm not gonna say you're not a wrestling fan. You've never seen that because it wasn't live stream like it is now.
Well, I mean, you know, maybe I add a little more detail to it. Let's say you magically 30 and you see wrestling talking about these historical matches and you didn't go back and look at none of these. I mean, you should completely ignore it and didn't go back and research. Because when I grew up, there were some matches I didn't see, but I went back, YouTube, whatever we had at the, you know, YouTube been around since the early 2000s, but I go back and watch some of that stuff. Some people will not go back and watch anything that they haven't seen on TV. Are you a wrestling fan if you never seen the Dudley Boys put Mae Young through a table?
You can still be a wrestling fan.
Yeah, you can be a wrestling fan. Yeah, they use that as bloopers now. So I mean, yeah, you can be a wrestling fan.
You could definitely still be.
Throw a curveball. Are you a wrestling fan if you never seen or heard about the Montreal Screwjob?
That's a hard one not to know about. So you would definitely have to not be a wrestling fan to not know that.
To not know about.
I'm 50-50 on that.
Well, nah, because remember, it wasn't. Keep it real. It wasn't that long ago.
It wasn't that long ago.
So for you not to know that, I don't think you're a wrestling fan.
That was like almost 20 years ago, right?
The Montreal Screwjob. It was it was in the 90s, wasn't it?
We're to 2025. That was almost 20 years ago now.
Yeah, but still, they still talk about so much. It's brought up so much in modern day that you will have to know about it.
Yeah,
you can't watch WWE for a whole 2 years and not see anything about the Montreal Screwjob.
Okay.
Are you a wrestling fan if you have never heard of the Undertaker streak or watched the streak get ended?
No, you're not a fan.
You're fat. You're not a fan.
You're not a fan.
You're not a fan.
You're not a fan?
Yeah. How long was that streak? Like 2 decades?
Yes.
2 decades?
You're definitely not a fan.
You are not
a fan. Okay.
If you have not seen the Undertaker streak.
All right. There is a lot of stories that happen in this story. Are you a wrestling fan if you never have seen anything related to the Undertaker and Kane storyline? From his debut to the mask taking off to everything. You never heard of that storyline at all. You're a wrestling fan. And there's so much stuff that happened in between that.
I'm going to have to say no, only because we just said no if you didn't know about the streak. The streak was part of that storyline. So I'm going to have to say no.
I would. Ooh, that's a hard one because going to work in school, it was kind of hard to catch everything. So I say I'm 50-50. You more than likely you might be a wrestling fan.
So you saying you might be a wrestling fan if you be like, I don't know the Kane and Undertaker story, how they went back and forth. He taking the urn.
Just think about it. He came in, they beefed. All of a sudden they kind of died down on the beefing. Then they beefed again, died down, partnered up, broke up, beefed, partnered up. So it depends on where you caught it at. So I can't knock you if you didn't see the whole layout because it seemed like the writers was going in so many different directions. It almost seemed like each stage of their coexistence was written by different writers. It was written by different.
So let me push back. So the question was the Kane Undertaker rivalry. So we're not talking about them when they was tag team. We're talking about when they first introduced Kane.
When they first introduced Kane.
And Undertaker, they were saying Kane was burnt up and he wasn't. He came and he whooped the Undertaker. Undertaker took some time off, came back. So if you didn't see that, I don't consider you a fan.
So we're just talking about that first part.
Just there when he came in, like you were saying, how Kane was burnt alive, came back. He ripped the cage off the Hell in a Cell. All of that, and not the Brothers of Destruction. That's because the Brothers of Destruction and the Kane versus Undertaker story, two different stories.
So let me interject on that then. I still don't think you're not a fan because you got to remember DX was running Rapid then. And that was a DX match.
It was a DX match.
That was a DX match. If you was following DX during that time, then yeah, you're fine. You're a fan because why would you introduce something like that in the middle of a DX era?
You sure your timeline is right about that?
Shawn Michaels DX was formed. They was still together then. Remember, he went against Shawn Michaels when Kane came out and was introduced.
But you're talking about when Kane was with the gray gloves and when he came back with the purple gloves. That was the rivalry era, correct, Ken? If I'm not mistaken.
No, when he was in a match with Shawn Michaels when Kane debuted.
Right.
Okay.
You're amazed by the quality of storytelling with their body, their promo. You know, if you're watching and you're a fan, right? I'm not saying you got to have a long history. I'm just talking about like when you come across somebody that say, hey, I've been watching wrestling for 30 years, but I never heard of the Spinner-Rooney. Really?
Spinner-Rooney? Scorpio. Scorpio.
Like, you never heard of Spinner-Rooney? You never heard of Vince McMahon Kiss My Ass Club?
Got your ass.
No comment.
Are you a wrestling fan if you have very little or no awareness of D-Generation X?
No, you're not a fan.
No. You shouldn't even talk about wrestling if you don't know nothing about DX.
My next question is going to be kind of a counter to that. Are you a wrestling fan because you didn't know who D-Generation X was because you was focused on NWO over at WCW at the time? because there's some things I miss.
But you can't do that.
No, you can do that because I know some people that did not, when it was the Monday Night Wars, right? Mm-hmm. There are some people that did not watch WWF at the time. They didn't watch it because their show was WCW. If you didn't know about D-Generation X, but you know about NWO, or even vice versa, are you a wrestling fan?
You are a wrestling fan. Because if we go back, NWO was created first. The D-Generation X didn't come to almost a year later. And they was what was popping. And you didn't know that WWE had a competitor to NWO unless you was one of the people like me who went back and forth, switching between matches and end up catching the formation of the generation.
Oh yeah, and that's what I was gonna say, because if you watching it, they came on, if I'm not mistaken, WCW came on an hour earlier.
Yeah.
So WCW will let you know what WWE was doing. So there's no way you didn't know, because they would tell you like, hey, tonight on WWF at the time.
Well, they give you the matches.
They'll tell you what's going on. So when DX did get formed,
they didn't tell us DX got formed.
Right.
They knew what was happening. They didn't tell us DX
I'm
got
50-50 with that answer then. I'm 50-50. I'm not gonna say you not, I'm not gonna say you are.
Well, okay. Yeah, because those are possible scenarios. Mm-hmm. You know, it was times when I knew WCW was on TV and wrestling and WWF. I didn't switch channel because I was engaged in whatever
I did.
I was engaged in the promos and what was going on. I didn't go back and forth because unless you had like a VCR where you're recording everything, I didn't have VCR to record it. If you miss it, you miss it. There's no recap until you watch next week to see the recap.
Well, that's why the back button was invented on TV remote.
You said back button.
Or that last button.
No back button. And it goes to the other channel back and forth.
But the thing about the shows, I think when one went on commercial, the other one was still playing. So I think their commercial times were also kind of, they was good enough where you can go back and forth between the shows. Now, when it got to the main event on both shows, you were stuck watching one or the other depending on what the card was. So I had a favorite WWF, favorite card I did WCW. So a lot of me was WCW because I think that's when Goldberg was like undefeated and he was going crazy and ran shot. And the NWO was more entertaining back then. So that was another thing. The NWO was very entertaining back then.
Yeah, because when I watched the Vince McMahon documentary and how Vince had this master strategy to pretty much take the product and make it his own, because that's what he pretty much said. He took their idea, made DX, but went and did a lot of other things that they didn't do. So Vince McMahon had this mentality, I'm going to beat you no matter what. I'm going to take what you're doing and make it better and do it better.
Which he did.
And and that's what ultimately happened.
That's why I said I was 50-50. You're a fan. I'm not going to penalize you. There's certain things you got to get penalized on. This one is not one of them, I'll say that.
Okay.
Yeah, definitely agree with you on that one.
Here's a iconic match. Hell in a Cell, Mankind versus Undertaker. Undertaker throwing Mankind off and then choke slamming him through the top of the cage. If you never heard of that match, never seen it, are you a fan?
That sucks. That sucks.
I'm going to say no, because it was an iconic moment. He got thrown 30 feet off a cage and Undertaker thought he was dead.
Yeah, you can't be a fan if you missed that one.
You can't be? Okay.
You cannot be a fan.
Are you a fan if you never heard or don't know what the word Attitude Era means?
You want to know something? I might be real with you. I think you can be a fan.
Yeah.
Just because you cannot break down the errors don't mean you don't enjoy the product.
Absolutely.
So, yeah, I believe you could be a fan.
You could be a fan. Because, like Definitely. I say, Attitude Era was when we were younger. So,
right.
Yeah, you're a fan. I mean, if you don't know the term and you hear about it and then you kind of go back and just Google Attitude Era WWE and it pops up, that's one thing. You could be a fan and not know that terminology and what that is.
Yeah.
So, you could be a fan.
I can tell you one era I wasn't too fond with that. What was that PG era? That PG era was pissing me off.
Nobody was a fan of the PG era.
Was trash.
I don't know. That was when they was trying to.
I missed the lingerie shows. And the what was it called?
The panties bra
matches. And
I thought that was too gimmicky. I thought when they did that, they watered down the women's product. I'm happy now what the women's product is, but yeah, back then I used to be very upset because it's like, dude, there's some real women wrestlers out here. You got them doing bra and panties matches. Like, come on, bro. I mean, I did love the wardrobe malfunction parts, but yeah.
Shout out to Janet Jackson.
WWE debut on Netflix.
Hated it. I'm just playing.
Let's talk about that event, what it meant to WWE, just to kind of just so some people to understand what it means for that debut was they're able to reach a broader audience all over the world, not just U.S. or whatever, but they were to reach a broader audience, and they're also able to get into multiple different languages all over the world. So some are saying that was probably the biggest audience as far as viewership they ever had. So which is a huge moment, right? But what's y'all feedback on just them going to Netflix?
See, I couldn't wait for this question. Okay, my whole thing with this one is I think it's great they're on Netflix. They reach a broader scale of people. My only thing I didn't like the product that was presented for that day one. I was expecting something to be blown off the roof. I was expecting to be sent back, rerunning this episode until the next episode come. But it was a one and done, and I was disappointed at the product. I felt it should have been better match selection. It should have been more matches.
The card was horrible.
The cards was the bookings. The bookings were strong. It's just the way it was presented was not good. I'm expecting a lot more from them because, like I say, if this is what you gotta remember, some people might have never seen WWE. So if this is what you presented to them, I didn't feel no rush of excitement after the intro, and that was the bad part. When the final boss came out, I'm like, yeah, okay, here you go, and he got up there with rainbows and lollipops. I was thrown back like, wait a minute, hold on one second. Where's my final boss? This seemed like the startup boss, you know.
Speaking of the intro, they kind of had some like hidden message in there. Like they had, I don't know if y'all seen the typewriter. Y'all seen the typewriter?
Yeah. No,
I took that as they're pretty much telling you this is a strip. WWE never done that before. Mm-hmm. What do you all think of them pretty much showing you, hey, we're writing the script
Didn't
out?
like that either.
You didn't like that either?
Did not like that either. Because once again, we all know what the product is. I mean, granted, everybody might not know. But after having a WrestleMania like you just had, in a build up to that WrestleMania, you had people who probably never took wrestling serious involved. They were all in. After seeing The Rock, everything that was going on, we were sold. That was the slap heard around the world when he slapped Cody Rhodes. The slap was so devastating. I mean, Seth Rollins even had to take offense to it. It was
bad.
So it made people actually say, "Whoa, wait a minute." Did they write this? Was this a shoot? What's going on? Is there some hatred in here? Why is The Rock stay pointing out blood? It was devastating. And then you come out with
rainbows and lollipops. And it almost set us back
to the PG era.
So what he's saying, I understand it, piggyback off my co-host. We already know it's scripted. We don't need you guys to tell us that. I feel like they're regressing. Because like I remember we had a conversation amongst ourselves about WrestleMania last year. Even the WrestleMania before that, when Cody first lost, and it led up to what happened then. Everything was still at the peak. And now it's feel like y'all starting to go down because people are getting hurt a little bit. They're changing up stuff. The card I didn't like for Raw. I didn't like the way they had the matches started. I feel like certain matches should have went first, some matches should have went last. I didn't like the way they did the card. It was a lot of botches.
The greatest show off of botch is kind of like it's a mistake. That doesn't mean it ruined the rest of the match. It's a mistake. Now there are some big botches and small botches. If you like, what's the name? What's my man's name?
Tonga. Big Goofy?
Yeah. Tonga Loa.
Big Goofy, that's what we call him. We like you, no disrespect.
Yeah.
No, that's the good
not him? That's good. My bad.
Shout out Tonga.
Oh, yeah, Tonga. Yeah.
We don't like you, but, I mean, we just need you to get in that gym. The best thing for you, get better, get healthy. Let's get back to work.
Will it get better? Of course it will, because WWE is really good at fixing things, and they will fix it. And I think the storyline will get better eventually with all the characters that's in there. I think it'll get better. Right now, it's just seeing they're regressing a little bit, and they're trying to figure stuff out, like I said. So
so speaking of the Cody, and I'm not gonna say final boss. I'm gonna say The Rock, but because right now
final boss.
Right now he's not the final boss.
Nah.
But on the NXT show, he mentioned, we can't be nice to, he can't be nice to Cody. He got to be mean to Cody. And he mentioned, hey, he 20 steps ahead. Now, I know he got to do some reshoots for the movie that he's working on. Do you think this is a twist? Netflix was just its own separate thing by itself, or do you believe that's what we're going off of?
So, if we're going off The Rock has a way of knowing how to spin things. He's really good at it. He's been good at it. We watched Rock be heel babyface for years. So one thing The Rock can do is come on one week and be like, yeah, Cody, you're my friend. Next week, take a steel chest slam inside the head. It was the new era of Raw being on Netflix. It was the grand revealing. So I think he had to play it that way because if you know even the stuff he did backstage, you know what I'm saying. So I think it'll be fine. I think what happens is he probably gonna whoop Cody again after this whole him and Kevin Owens thing. You know, he gonna get at Cody and go from there.
Because you know what I wish would have happened when The Rock came out and put the Ula Fowler on Roman. I wish he would have just no.
I thought he was gonna steal on him.
I would have been dead.
I thought that was gonna happen. I really did. When he came out, I'm like, he got to change up. He's gonna put it on. But you want to know something? I think The Rock is content. You can be tribal chief, but I'm gonna be champ.
But what if it's a setup though? What if it's like, I did that, and like you said, what is his name? And Samoan, who is he?
Swali.
The Swali. So it's like that title is that higher than?
Well, I think the high chief is higher than tribal.
Well, he's a high chief.
He's a high chief.
Is that a spin that The Rock is going to put on that between him and Roman?
Well, no, that is
right. That's what I'm saying. Yeah,
because the Swali could acknowledge him as tribal chief.
Correct.
But he's the high priest. He's the
so right now he's the leader of
the
everybody.
Rock is the head of all that. So they can't even touch The Rock if they wanted to. Like if they was to touch The Rock, it'd be like a cardinal sin.
Okay.
So even though we got no seriously,
no, I don't think
yeah, they can't touch him. Like that's why he could stand between both bloodlines and have no type of
quarrel with anybody. Yeah, I can't touch him.
No quarrels. It's like we all bloodlines. We come together. Which will lead me to think, what can they do to kind of make that happen? What could interrupt them where they would have to form together?
It had to be a bloodline thing. It had to be a Samoan type thing in order for that to happen.
The Tongans.
Your Tongans?
Because the Tongans are not bloodline. The Tongans would be what would have to cause
They're
them.
not?
Nah, Tongans and Samoans normally went to war back in the day. They're like from the same area, but they're like different tribes. Tongans and Samoans normally go at each other.
Oh crap!
Yeah, but that makes me think about how WCW was letting NWO go and live too long.
Yeah,
and it's what. The bloodline officially...
You gotta keep it small.
Right, because the bloodline officially started, 2021? Yes. Not really 2020 pandemic.
When Roman first came back and won the belt, he started forming the bloodline.
Well, no, he didn't. He was going against Jay.
Yep. Yeah. And he tried to get them to realize he's the tribal chief.
That's when it started, though.
Well, 2021 is when tribal...
That's when the tribal... Came.
That's when... Not 2020, but 2021, it was like... That's when he started going into the bloodline stuff.
Okay.
So we talking, what... If they continue it on, that's 4 years. I feel like at some point the bloodline have to. It have to fade away because it's like anything. If you run it too long, it's going to get diluted. But I also say this: if you're the superhero too long, you're going to see yourself turn into the villain. That's not related.
They're not big. They're not big. What I could look at it as is, of course, they go to do their own thing. In the back of our head, there'll still be the bloodline because you would still see them hanging together and everything. Right. And, you might be able to pull it off a little longer. But the thing is, it's all about the story. I would love to see my aggressive Jey Uso come back. I'm tired of colorful Jey Uso.
Welcome to the Usos Penitentiary.
You can keep the yeet, you keep the music, but I need you out that pink and blue. I need you to go back to wearing the all black or the all red or the all white.
No.
I need you to come out and be very aggressive as you used to be. Like I say, I love you and everything. I think you dope. I love the character, but I need the aggressive Jey Uso. I can't see this Jey Uso winning the title.
Hold on. Let me push back on you a little bit. Hold on, Black. Right now, he's at an all-time high with what he's doing. So you think will he regress if he goes back to that version and not the one that gets the fans going crazy every set he goes in? He rocks out no matter what. So what do you mean by that? If you do that regresses him in the way you think that could hurt him if he goes back to doing that.
So damn, now to see that's dope, and I hate that if it comes down to that because the character he has, the fans do love. Right. I think he could keep the charisma stuff. I think the colorful stuff throws me off because I'm used to seeing him like very ultra aggressive, and a lot of the matches that he loses is because he don't have that aggression. I believe if he had the aggression, he'll hold on to the belt longer. He'll know when to jet out. Like with the YS6, he'll be like, oh, yep, I'm out of here.
Right, but do you think? And I always felt like with wrestlers, when they have their peak, they low, they mid, or even when they're transitioning out to support the next generation, Jey Uso kind of really been in the spotlight. Even Rikishi was complaining about it a little bit when they was doing the Rhea and the Jay thing, but Jey Uso kind of been main eventer, I wouldn't say main event, but main spotlight for a while.
Rhea always shot him out, even after her interview. Right. It wasn't she yeeted him.
I would say he's been main event though. He's been like
he's in the spotlight.
Yeah, he's been that guy. I ain't gonna hold you.
Yeah, he don't.
You can't be in the spotlight all the time either. Because right now he's over as a single competitor.
Seth,
right?
The guy who had the title for 2 years, 3 years strong. You saying you can't be in the spotlight, and he had the title for 3 years?
Well, no, I'm saying with the fans being supportive. Like, how long can you be that hot before the writers be like, you know what, we need to go in a different direction?
Okay, I got you.
Cena, remember? Right. He lost his. They like turned on him, and he did nothing wrong.
Right.
Yeah. Okay.
That's what I'm saying. How long can you be right here before they be like, you know what, it's getting stale. Let's do something different. Because, all the wrestlers switch up a little bit every couple years.
I think it depends on the fans. I really think it depends on the fans. And if the fans stop... The fans is what dictate, honestly, how superstars are made. And I think if the fans start kind of like, we're getting tired of this now. I think that's when the writers started saying, like, you know what? We need to switch up something. We need to change your character. Because the character you have now is not working for us anymore because the fans aren't really feeling it. Like
you need to tell that to the the Raiders. What's the tag team called?
The Vikings.
Like how many times we keep switching up? How many times we keep switching up the?
Hey, they dope as hell though.
The new version of them, I like them.
We're gonna go into the matches for the Netflix debut, and I want y'all to kind of rank them as I go over each matches. But we're gonna rank them different. We're gonna give a hardcore match 1 star, right? You should say if it's a hardcore match, we're going to label that as a 1 star. U.S. Championship, we're going to label that as 2 stars. Or Winged Eagle Championship, that's going to be 3 stars. So whether these 1, 2, or 3 stars match.
He just made this complicated. That's very complicated.
It's supposed to be complicated. So if you rated a 1 star, just say Hardcore Championship. If you rated it,
but that make it sound like it's good though. Like, that was a hardcore championship because hardcore championship match is good, Ken.
That do make it. They shouldn't be a no championship.
It's 1 being low and 3 being a high.
No, it should have been. I'm going to get popcorn into the bathroom doing this.
No, we gonna do that. 1 star hardcore, 2 star U.S. championship, or Wing Eagle 3 star. All right.
So disrespectful to the Wing Star belt.
Don't do it. Wing Star is the highest rating right now.
Oh, see, I thought it was hardcore.
Nah, hardcore is at least
go ahead.
1 star.
Okay, I got
You're overthinking it.
Wouldn't let that shit happen to me though.
All right, Drew McIntyre versus Jey Uso. We give that a 1 star, 2 star, or 3 star. Hardcore.
Yeah, that was a hardcore.
It was trash.
Yeah,
hardcore. All right, Liv Morgan versus Rhea.
Okay.
Ooh,
that's good. I gotta give it to my
Wing Eagle. Okay.
I'm gonna go with the Wing Eagle too. I like that.
Liv is. I don't know.
Shout out to mommy.
Hey, Liv Morgan. I remember when you left and you said when you come back you were gonna be better. You lived up to it. They took your girls away from you, and I never thought I'd say this, but you were a good women's title holder. Shockingly.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Yeah. We rock with you.
Shout out to Liv and Dirty Dom.
Yep. Win, lose, or draw, Liv. You entertained us, and the Obliviator or the Annihilator.
Oblivion.
Oblivion. Yo, that is a protected move. I see why you perfected how to do it. And your backstab was pretty dope. So,
shout out to Dirty Dom, man. He got the best job in the world. This boy barely works. He barely wrestles.
Hey,
and he's the best heel. He's the best heel I've seen.
You all right. He has not been wrestling.
No, he is not. He's just out there and he's living his best life.
He's helling it up.
That's a good paycheck.
Who wouldn't want to touch old Liv Morgan and pick up? Man, shout out to Dirty Dom.
Don't do that.
He's married.
He's married. Roman versus Solo. Do we give that 1 star hardcore, 2 star U.S. championship, or we give that a 3 star, a Wing Eagle championship?
2 star.
And I was gonna ask you that.
Yeah.
I want to give it a 3 only because of what it meant with the Alafalo or whatever they call it.
Yeah.
Because that was the biggest thing that was the reason why people were watching. I think especially because they wanted to see who was gonna win that match. Honestly, I don't think it was any other match but that one. But I guess the way it was breaking down at the end is I think I'll give it a 2 as well. I'll give it the US, but just because how it broke down in the end.
Yeah, it was a lot going on, a lot of interference.
I don't think they wasn't ready for all that. I think it was a lot going on.
It was definitely a Intercontinental.
I thought it was U.S.
I mean, well, U.S. It was a U.S. Yeah, it was a two stop for me.
It was a 2-stop. Yeah.
All right. Yeah, I give that a 2. I think by the bloodline being such a focused story, don't water it down. Make it, because WrestleMania around the corner. Royal Rumble's around the corner.
Yeah.
They're saying that the Netflix debut was the start to a road to WrestleMania, but I don't feel like it is.
The highlight of that match was that we could hear Solo talking shit. Uncensored shit. That was the highlight.
I love you, Solo.
Get your punk ass up.
CM Punk versus Seth Rollins. Now, this was the main event. This was, supposed to be, I'm pretty sure it is, the biggest audience viewership. Meaning the most eyes was probably on this match ever, right? Worldwide.
CM Punk shouldn't have won.
CM Punk,
Hardcore match.
Hardcore match?
It was
1 star?
Hardcore. CM Punk, as much as we love it, that match did nothing for nobody. And I think CM Punk should not have won that match.
And I think Seth carried him through some of that match too.
I definitely agree with you. I agree with you on that one.
That was a money match, and I'm not talking about.
You think it was a money match?
Oh, it was a.
Ooh, that's kind of negative. That's a negative when you say that.
And CM Punk said it doing the promo the week before. This is one of my biggest payday. This is a money match. Seth carried him in that match.
Yeah,
I don't like the way CM Punk energy wasn't the best. The way they was doing the counters, the way they was doing it. He seems old.
I mean, he is old.
He's okay. So. He is old, but he gave great energy versus my man
Drew.
Yeah, that was energy.
He gave energy against Drew.
that was he gave that heat on that one. I expected more hard hitting moments. Seth actually carried that match, and I mean, it is no hate on CM Punk.
No, it's not,
because he's a great performer, but Seth outdid you in that match, bro. I think I need a makeup. I need a makeup match, bro. We from Chicago. We need a makeup match.
But that goes back to what I was saying in the beginning. I read that this is not supposed to be the storyline continuing on. It just was focused on the Netflix debut. Do you believe that they held back a lot just only for the Netflix debut? Because how they're making it seem,
they should have never put them out there. They should have never put them two out there. I'm sorry. If it's the Netflix debut, you either go all in or you step back. And them two together, that's an all-in match. You do not do that. So
what you're saying is that's a main event at Royal Rumble?
That's a main event. With a good lead up, that is definitely a main event.
So you're saying it was wasted on Netflix?
Yeah,
I'm gonna say it was wasted because we had more hard hitting moment with Roman and what's that?
No,
and we had more.
Okay.
I was gonna say that too.
Okay.
And Liv had more hard hitting moment. He's right. That's a match you build up for a pay per view or like Royal Rumble or WrestleMania, because to me they didn't do enough. And you make that a main event for Netflix, your what you've been, and it wasn't enough. It didn't seem like when we watched it live, we wasn't like we were just like,
Let me go get something. I'm gonna
go get something to go to the bathroom. I'm just being real, exactly. It just wasn't. It wasn't their standard. I'm gonna use that term. It wasn't going to be standard.
I mean, hey, they put a lot into it, or maybe our expectations too high.
But they said it that way, though.
No, you don't think so?
You said WWE said it that way. They set the bar.
You set the bar. You don't set a bar and then you run away from the bar.
But think about this. Remember a couple years ago when SmackDown went over to USA, right? Okay. That was like a huge thing when they were putting SmackDown on USA and The Rock showed up at the beginning.
But the show was lit.
So you saying the debut on USA for SmackDown was bigger than the debut on Netflix?
It was lit. It was lit.
The card was lit.
It was lit. It was that. Yes, that SmackDown was the flagship show. It was carrying everything. It was lit. That was crazy.
Yeah.
Okay, that was crazy. Yeah. All right, let's get into what we know is around the corner, which is the Royal Rumble.
Yeah, Royal Rumble. I'm sorry. Okay,
going to be in Indianapolis. Indianapolis, whatever the hell it is. Indianapolis. We are going. So we got our tickets.
I'm not going.
It's going to be like 6-7 of us, maybe more. So I know we're going to have a really good time, and we're going to do like a road trip out there, like a 2.5, 3 hour drive, whatever it is.
So I don't know how slow you drive. So get that hour and a half.
So what are y'all looking forward to?
I'm looking forward, actually, to seeing how this stadium looks. on the inside.
Oh, you never been to the Lucas Oil Stadium?
I've never been.
It's huge.
So I'm looking forward to seeing how the stadium look, because the stadium in LA for the Netflix, that stadium looked amazing.
Well, yeah,
that was SoFi, right?
SoFi.
Yeah. SoFi say that's one of the state of
the
Chargers. And shout out to the Chargers, they lost. But yeah, you know what I'm saying. That stadium is huge. They're in the state of the art.
So I'm looking forward to that, but I'm also looking forward to having a good time with all the guys.
Oh, wait a minute, we're wrong. That was not SoFi. That was Intuitive Dome. I apologize.
Yeah,
that's where the LA Clippers play. I'm sorry. Shout out to the Clippers. That's what it was for the Netflix.
Okay, yeah, because
I got it wrong. I apologize.
Correction.
Yeah. All right.
So, but I'm looking forward. I'm looking forward to the drive to have fun, really. So I'll bring the belt. What y'all looking forward to at the Royal Rumble?
I can't answer that. I won't be there.
Every time we go to the event, man, we have a great time. So I just look forward to hanging out with the fellas.
Brotherhood.
Seeing some stuff behind the scenes. Hopefully run to some viewers.
Yeah, man. Make sure y'all subscribe to Backbody, man. Hopefully running to y'all, man. Hit that button.
Like and subscribe.
Predictions. Women's Royal Rumble. Is Jade Cargill showing up?
Yes.
Yeah.
Why? Why Royal Rumble? Why now?
Oh, she's showing up because the road to WrestleMania. And she about to do some damage. I believe we're about to see our heel Jade Cargill.
Okay. We got to find out who beat her up.
Don't worry.
And I think it's somebody we know.
Oh, I think it's somebody we all know.
I'm not giving out spoilers, but I think we know who it is.
Definitely.
I mean, okay. Is Charlotte Flair showing up?
Yes. The Evil Queen will return.
She's not getting no championship.
She's going to be a heel, the Dark Queen. She's about to put it down.
Who's she coming for?
Everybody.
What a straight answer.
All right, is Becky Lynch showing up?
Yes.
I think so.
It's time.
Yeah.
I don't think Becky Lynch showing up. And the reason why I say I don't think Becky Lynch showing up, I think it's so many other storylines that are in place. Because who knows what they're going to do with Nia Jax. We know that's going to continue on. Bianca and Naomi got the belt. You already know whoever Jade come back. Well, we know who Jade gonna come back for. That's gonna be the biggest storyline. How will Charlotte fit into that?
Oh, Charlotte is just gonna be the typical heel that's gonna step into everybody's business.
Okay.
She's gonna play that role. She's gonna let you know she's the best, and to get to that title, you got to go through her.
Okay.
Well,
and to go back, the reason I don't think Becky Lynch is gonna show up because she already did that before. She showed up at the Royal Rumble, right? Mm-hmm. Or was it SummerSlam? No,
it was SummerSlam.
It was SummerSlam. She already had her big return moment. I think doing it again like that, I don't know. I could be.
Becky had a couple dope ass moments. I'm just thinking about her little career from when she became the man. Do y'all remember when she lost the belt at the Royal Rumble, before the Royal Rumble, and then she came out and got in the Royal Rumble? One thing got hurt.
Absolutely.
And she come on. Oh my God. Becky has some hits.
I think Becky might come back only because I think they want to. If she do get another contract or whatever it is, however they do it, they may want to see where she's at. So I think the Royal Rumble might be a little test to see where she's at. Right. And the fans really want to see her. So I think that's the reason. A lot of people come as Royal just so the fans can see them, do they little, they want it done and they going about their way. I think the fans really want her to come back just so they can see her again. You know what I'm saying? And then let her decide what she want to do. Does she still really want to do it or she just don't? So I think if she do it, I think she do it for the fans, if anything.
Okay. Well, we're going to see it. It's around the corner. Is AJ Lee showing up?
That'd be dope. I don't think so.
You don't think so?
That'd be dope, but I don't think so.
CM Punk already said she doing producing and she got some other things. She's not coming back, bro.
When that money talks, though.
Yo, WWE, Trips.
Not Trips.
I know that you don't mind breaking that wall and knocking that door open. We need to see Mercedes Moné come with all 4 belts to the Royal Rumble.
That ain't happening either.
Or if you can't get her, we need to see Athena come and be in the Royal Rumble. We need to, bro. We need.
And they're not afraid of the Forbidden Door. They're not afraid of it.
The Trips. It would be dope just to see her come out with all 4 belts. She ain't got to win the Royal Rumble. She ain't got to be here for long. But she need to come in, do some moves. You know what I'm saying? If you, like I said, if you can't get her, let's get Athena, because these 2 women hot, bro. They are hot. Bring them in.
So just real quick, I think we may see Athena before we see Mercedes only because of the what happened for her to leave, and I don't think
but that was with them.
But she went on a real quick. She went on a podcast. She understands that, but it's just the fact that WWE do have a lot of what they want to call, they control how you do things. With at least where she's at now, she has full control. It's just a disdain that she had nothing to do with Triple H or anything like that. She said that had nothing to do with none of that. It's just she's comfortable where she's at. She has more time off. and everything like that. So I understand just a feature. I get
Just
that.
want a feature.
But I think, that's just my opinion. I ain't going to go into much detail about it.
We just love to have a feature from Athena or Mercedes, because I want to see them belts like y'all did Jordan Grace.
Okay,
that was
you're right.
Perfection.
I like Athena. I like Athena better because
That was dope.
Yeah, she lost that weight.
Yeah, Athena fine.
Yeah,
All right.
no doubt.
Who do we don't want to see show up in the Women's Royal
Them
Rumble?
damn classics.
Hulk Hogan.
Hulk Hogan.
We don't want none of them classics. We look. We love it, but when you start bringing out the legends, and I want to know something. Shout to Michelle McCool because she still got it.
Yeah.
But I want to see our people that you got going now. Jada Parker needs to be. You need to push them people.
But you said who we don't want to see.
We don't want the legends,
Okay.
Quirky.
Right.
We
So
don't
we don't want
see.
to.
We don't want to see the comedy. We don't want to see the legends. We don't want to see none of them. We want the real wrestlers again. That we don't want no gimmicky
We done
people.
seeing the leaders and Trish Stratus.
Absolutely. Respect to the legends, but
Yeah.
we have enough talent for to make this work.
Yeah.
And I get maybe one, right, to get like a ooh ah yay.
No.
You don't think so? Not even a ooh ah yay?
No.
I ain't gonna lie. When the hurricane popped up one time,
No.
I'm tired of seeing him
funny.
too.
I didn't want to see him.
Yeah, that gimmick is played out.
I like what you guys are doing with the fourth door. Instead of having these legends, you give somebody from another company. They ain't gotta be they top tier talent, but you could grab one of the young ladies. You grab Nyla Rose. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
You could bring somebody in, like how y'all brought Rosemary in. I thought that was really dope. So you could grab some ladies from other promotions that give them some exposure.
Facts. Big
Okay.
facts.
Well, hopefully it's a good show because this Royal Rumble is supposed to be huge.
It's always surprising. They always do surprising.
All right, so going over to the men's Royal Rumble, and speaking of the men's Royal Rumble, this is John Cena's last Royal Rumble. What's your thoughts on that?
I'm tired of John Cena. Loved him, but yeah,
You can't be tired of.
I was loving my man with his World Life, Thugonomics.
I do like Thugonomics, John Cena.
Thugonomics was a hit. I do like the way he evolved his career. I give him all the flowers in the world because he did carry the WWE for such a long time.
A long time.
But John, I mean, your farewell tour, we said farewell to you about 2-3 years ago, man. I know.
Damn.
But
Damn.
we respect you. I like you acting though. I can't front, bro. I think you're a dope actor.
Oh, yeah.
I want to see you play
definitely.
the Terminator. I think that would be dope for you.
You think, okay.
I think he'd be a dope Terminator.
That's new to me. I didn't know he was. I didn't even know he was even considered.
I don't know if he's
Terminator.
considered, but when I look at John, I can see him doing a Terminator movie and playing a Terminator.
Okay.
But yeah, bro, your Pharrell tour was like 2-3 years ago. I'm sorry you missed it, but yeah, we really don't want to see you. That's a spot in the Royal Rumble that somebody else could have. Honestly, somebody else who.
But he talked about 17 championship beating the Rick. But you know what's funny? He talked about 16 championship with Ric Flair, but it's not actually 16. It's higher than that. It's just what according to WWE is acknowledging, but it's higher than 16.
He's 60 time in the WWE universe.
You don't need to do it. I believe you have gained so much notoriety and success throughout your career. I believe you could just gracefully bow out and sit on the sideline. I could even see you doing commentary.
Well, I mean, but we're talking the Royal Rumble entrance just for fun. He doing it for fun.
I'm tired of seeing these fun classics.
But I see what he's talking about. Well, that spot can be somebody else. I get him at the same time. John Cena's earned that. So I will give him that.
We didn't say he didn't earn it.
He's earned that.
But if you do the Royal Rumble, I don't want to see him in the Elimination Chamber.
Oh, no.
You want to see him in that.
No,
you know you're not going to see him in that. He can't carry that.
But he mentioned it, though.
But he's not going to be able to do that, man. The match is too taxing on the body. He can't do that.
This is John Cena. Never give up.
Yeah,
I'm going to say this again.
He could do it, but I'm like seriously, because just think about how many professional wrestlers they have in the promotion. And you put John Cena in that. That's taken away from probably Ethan Page. That's probably taken away from Oba. You know what I'm saying? That's probably taken away from. Just think about it, there's a lot of guys in there.
Right, because one Royal Rumble entry can make you a memorable moment.
Yeah,
even when you think about Titus. I was literally just about to say Titus, how he fell. That made a moment for him.
Yeah,
so
a bad one, but it made one.
It was freaking hilarious. Yeah. Whenever Vince, bust up laughing.
I'm just real quick before we go to the next person. Just the Elimination Chamber, I would never see John Cena in that just because of the way that. What legend outside of Brock Lesnar have you seen in the Elimination Chamber?
Legend? Brock Lesnar
outside of him, but he technically is. Technically, he's a legend.
And the Elimination Chamber, legend. I don't think it ain't been too many people that will.
Because that match is not made for them. Because the way the match is set up.
Well, right.
Yeah, that's all I was saying.
It's called for physical torture. Is Zilla Fatu showing up in the Royal Rumble?
I want to say yeah, but it's hard to say. I say it's a 50-50 chance. I think that would be the saving grace. Trips. If you're gonna have John Cena show up, I would hope that Zilla would show up in the Royal Rumble.
Well, I'm gonna say he might show up because if you guys don't know, he got that promotion match with Booker T, that final match with him on Booker T's wrestling
reality.
Okay. So I think Zilla's gonna get that contract done. Triple H is gonna make it happen. Him and The Rock gonna get it together, and he gonna show up. He gonna show up because he wants to fight. He want to fight with Solo. He wants Solo on the platter. He want to false. He want him on the platter.
Taking his daddy's gimmick. Yeah,
Solo. All right, is Trick Williams showing up?
Yes.
Y'all hesitate. You ain't hesitated at all.
Yeah,
we knew.
Whoop that Trick.
Shout out to Trick.
All right, to throw off the storyline, is The Rock showing up in the Royal Rumble?
Yes.
You think so?
I think he is.
I'm gonna say no.
You don't think The Rock may pop his ass up at number 30?
I don't
think Rock shows up, he's gonna win it.
And that would make no sense. And that's
it
why
would make sense because it goes back to the storyline. I'm coming after Cody.
But right now, but his
shot.
Okay, I get that, but I'm just gonna say there's just so much with that's going on. It's,
okay,
it's
let me just say this here. I'm putting it out there like this, guys. Remember, everybody got to honor the tribal chief. The Rock is going to get into the Royal Rumble. The Rock is going to win because all the Samoans are going to help eliminate everybody so he can win.
Yeah, you reach. You
trying to get spoilers.
Ain't that a hard reach?
You reach.
Don't it sound good?
Well, how many Samoans in the Royal Rumble right now?
Let's just say it's going to be 4 or 5 of them, maybe. Everybody's not going to be there. So you could put the winners in there. Jacob's going to be in there. The Usos are going to be in there. And we could just throw one more person. We don't know. Either one of them. But they're all going to go to The Rock's knees. They're going to eliminate just about everybody else so The Rock can come in last. Jacob Fatu will probably be one of the last people left with The Rock. And Jacob is going to get out for The Rock to win.
Man, that's a bold prediction, bro.
That's a bold prediction.
That's not even a spoiler. That is a bold prediction. That'd
be a dope. Hey, I keep telling you, Trips, you need an extra writer.
All right. Is Brock Lesnar showing up?
No.
Oh, that's hard.
No.
That's a 50-50.
That's
a 50-50.
Is he still dealing with that legal stuff?
I don't know.
Look, all that's still dealing with that. You saw what Vince just posted on Twitter, right?
But see, he had another lawsuit too, though, with the NCAA.
Well, I don't know what that's about, but Vince posted on his Twitter saying how they were investigating the money that was going to certain people that shouldn't have the money. He claimed that it was an accounting error and it has been resolved, and he's putting it behind him. So I don't know what his statement was.
It sounds good on paper.
It sounds good, but you know, if it's something legal he couldn't say, he wouldn't have made the statement.
That's true.
So that's behind him.
You sure about that? Because we were talking about Vince McMahon, though.
Well, if he came out and said it was an accounting error, because whoever he was paying what's the Janelle Grant?
I'm not sure of her name right now.
Yeah, I'm not sure. I'm getting the name way mixed up. But the legal problems he was having, he pretty much saying whoever he was paying through the company finances, it's been resolved. But whoever he was paying, but that don't mean the other stuff is done.
But that sounds like a PR.
Of course it is.
So for you to say that was an account. There's no way that was an accountant. We're not stupid.
Wait, no, you can't.
No, we talking about somebody that's Vince McMahon.
But legally, that's what he stated. That's what has been resolved, and he apparently clearing his name.
You want to know something?
But I don't want to get stuck on that.
Let's
keep moving.
Yeah,
Big E showing up.
Yes.
He's been clear.
Yeah,
Big E showing up.
Yeah, he's been clearing up.
Okay,
that rivalry is finna get lit.
He's gonna eliminate himself, eliminating them, but he's gonna show up.
All right, last curveball is Uncle Howdy showing up in the Royal Rumble.
I don't see a purpose in being Royal.
You don't see a purpose? No, I don't see a purpose either. But he's been on the sideline, so.
Yep.
He's not been on the sideline. His story's been sporadic.
Yeah, storyline, but him showing up wouldn't make any sense, honestly.
Who you got winning in the women's?
In the women's Royal Rumble?
Who you got winning?
Jade Cargill.
Jade Cargill. Who you got winning?
Damn, that was my answer, so I ain't gonna hold you. I think it's... I'm gonna go with Jade, but they gonna throw some curveballs in the women's Royal Rumble.
I would hope so.
They gonna throw some, but I'll pick Jade. If she returns,
Ooh.
I'll pick her.
Speaking of women, Hey, Trips, Stephanie, can we get another women's pay-per-view? We got Jada Parker. We got some women out here.
You right.
We need a showcase. Can we get an all-women's pay-per-view one more time?
And shout out to y'all getting the women's Intercontinental U.S. Championship belt.
Oh,
too.
yeah.
Shout out to y'all for doing that. That's
Finally.
dope. I like that. Shout out to y'all for
If
that.
y'all watched the last episode when we was together, I said y'all need to
You
do
did
that.
say that. You did say that.
All right, Jade Cargill. I got Jade Cargill showing up winning as well.
That's 3.
That's 3 for Jade Cargill. Who you got winning the men's Royal Rumble?
If The Rock is in it, it's The Rock.
If The Rock is in, it's The Rock.
I'm gonna say Roman, bro.
You say Roman? He is in it.
I'm
You
gonna say
right.
Roman.
This could be when they fall out.
Who you got before I say?
Fool.
You say you got Roman?
I got Roman.
You got Roman, you got?
I got The Rock. If The Rock is in it, I got The Rock.
But if he's not
The
in it,
Rock
who
is
you
not
got?
in it, I got Roman.
I got...
So that curveball, here it comes.
Yeah, here it come.
I will say this because y'all have a very, very good argument. I believe it's going to be something different done. I think Roman's going to win it, but I think The Rock's going to come in and give us something that he's going to use his power. I think The Rock's going to come in and use his power because it's only 3 people we're going to choose from. John Cena, most likely not.
No.
Right? Roman, he's got a motive. They let Cody win it 2 years in a row. It only makes sense for Roman.
One of the Usos put it off and won it.
No.
Well, but you got to think about it. Correct me if I'm wrong. Did Roman ever issue his rematch clause?
No.
He never issued a rematch clause.
But
So-
they even have a rematch clause. He should have, but they never brought
You
that
got
up.
the title for 3 years. You got a rematch call, but he took time off after that match. He just
Yeah, like
So he don't even have to win the Royal Rumble then.
he don't, but I think he will.
I agree with y'all. I think Roman's gonna win, but if Roman win, I think The Rock gonna pull a
And
curveball.
watch out for Paul Heyman. I think he got something up his sleeve, and I don't know what it
He
is.
always do.
I think something with Paul is gonna manifest before WrestleMania get here.
Well, hopefully they keep us guessing and we have a good show. But
What if Paul Heyman have CM Punk interfere with Roman and Cody Rhodes title match to cause Cody to lose the belt?
we don't know. We'll find out in a
It's a
few weeks.
prediction, not a spoiler.
I had a really good conversation with y'all. I see everybody at the Royal Rumble in Indianapolis, and I'll catch y'all guys next time.